My first guest today is Lee Stein, and she's a lead singer, and she's the fiddle player for Reverie Stone, and also Honeybee 3. Lee, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Yeah, so my first question, are you a Chicago native?
Actually, no. I
okay.
grew up in Glen Ellen.
Okay.
But I've been living in Chicago since 1988.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah. I went to the Art Institute and never left, basically.
So your background is in arts, not music?
It is, actually. I went, I was a photographer for a long time.
Okay.
But I was also... I started playing music in my early 20s.
Ah, nice.
So,
okay. And did you start on fiddle or?
No. I learned fiddle about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a tough one to pick up.
It is. It's very challenging. It's very difficult, but I really love it. I really love it.
Okay. And what's the first instrument you played?
Piano.
Piano.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in a very musical household. My mom studied concert piano in college and stuff, and so of course that was the first instrument I learned, and it was all classical music in my household, so that's what we learned. My brother learned classical guitar, and it was great, but it's not really what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so eventually I just kind of gave that up, and I didn't really know where to go from there because I wasn't encouraged to play pop music or the music that I wanted to listen to. So it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I learned how to play guitar.
Okay.
And start writing songs and things like that, which was a blast. But, yeah.
And so what was your first band experience like?
Well, like I said, I was in my early 20s. I met my now husband, Mitch, and he said to me, all you have to do is learn 3 chords on a guitar and you can write a song, and you can basically do what you want. And so that's what I did, and a bunch of girls and I formed an all-girl group in the north side of Chicago called Daisy Razor.
Wow.
And that was a lot of fun. And we practiced at, what was it called? Cool Metro Studios. It was run by John Green, who now sings for Hody Snitch.
Oh, okay.
And actually, he's the one who introduced me to my husband. So anyway,
wow.
We had a lot of support in the area. We played at bars and things like that, and just wrote a lot of music. It was so much fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, I like John. John's a really good guy. I've played RT quite a few times.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, and saw Hody at Carol's a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you said that your first band experience was with the girl band, but then John introduced you to your future husband. And so how did that come about? Where did you guys meet? And
it was actually, I met Mitch through John, and I was a photographer, and so John hired me to take pictures of his band that Mitch was in at the time, which was Pope Salad. That was in the mid-90s,
wow, okay.
Very glam rock type of stuff, and it was crazy. And so that's how I met Mitch, and Pope Salad then became... Black Landau.
Okay.
And I know. And then after that, he took a turn for country. And so, and Mitch continued to play with him. And Mitch and I got married a couple of years later. We had kids. And so I took a kind of a break there. And then I didn't really pick up playing music again until 2011. And that's was in church, so... I formed the Holy Smokes at that point, and we played primarily country gospel and stuff like that. And Mitch was part of that too.
Okay, not really familiar with that. Country and gospel, but country to gospel,
like Louvin Brothers type of stuff. I know
the name.
Yeah, and just hymns and traveling. I don't know what's the word for it, but. There's a whole lot of Southern gospel. It's just tons. And actually, if you look at the soundtrack of "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," it's just
oh really okay
a lot of that stuff.
Okay, so I'm familiar with it, and I don't even realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably
okay. So then, which band came first? Was it Reverie Stone or Honeybee 3?
Well, Reverie Stone we formed about 2 years ago. I guess Honeybee 3 came first. And what happened there is I was playing in another country band called Dry County Line, and we were playing at Fitzgerald's. And the singer from Diamondback, which is a legendary country band in Chicago, she came to see us play, and she saw me sing, and she said, let's get together and do a trio. Okay. And so that's what we did.
So it's you and...
It's me, Reva Goodman, and Rick Veris, who also plays with Diamondback, and he plays with everybody. He's an amazing multi-instrumentalist.
Okay, there's a lot of... As bees go, a lot of cross-pollination.
Yes. Well, I think that, you might agree that that's the music business in Chicago. Everybody knows everybody. It's just very connected,
True. And the way I feel is that there's pools of musicians around, but you're right. There's a lot of crossover between.
Yeah.
And
so
Honeybee 3 was the first.
Yeah.
And then how did you develop Reverie Stone?
Well, Mitch and I both, we grew up just listening to all kinds of music, all kinds. And we really wanted to play more than classic country music. We wanted to just kind of branch out and play wider variety. We love bluegrass, we love jamgrass, we love the new country, we love old country. We like the alternative songs that we grew up with and everything. And so that's why we wanted to form our own band, which is now Reverie Stone. And the whole idea of that was kind of what it's like when you're sitting around a campfire with your best friends and you're singing songs and you're singing the songs that you grew up with that you remember so well. And so that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to play songs that really brought back great memories for people, and so that's it.
And so how did you go about recruiting members for Reverie Stone?
Well, for Reverie Stone, we recruited a guitar player we knew from church named Travis McBride, and he was all in. And then we went on Band Mix and found some other people. We also we knew a musician named Mark Janis, who's an amazing drummer, and so he played with us for a good while. And it wasn't too hard to find people. There's just so many musicians.
True. And so you got a nice chemistry together with the guys that you had. Was there an audition process? Or was it just these were the first ones you found?
Oh, no. We did audition them. We invited them to the house, and we played some songs together and talked a while, just kind of see what we're like, and.
And how many people did you go through before you got this lineup?
I think for the bass player, we talked to about 3 different people. Drummer, we kind of knew who we wanted. We went straight to Mark, and then guitarist, we did go through maybe 3 or 4 people.
Okay,
yeah.
And then you settled on this. Now, can you explain to me what exactly does the name Reverie Stone mean?
Well, that's kind of what it's about. Stone, I guess, is German or Stein is German for stone or whatever. So that's part of the name. And Reverie is just memories and good thoughts, and that's the kind of music we wanted to play. We wanted to play songs that bring back great memories for people, and so that's why we thought of the Reverie Stone, where you could sit there and just kind of think about all the good times and stuff. So.
Yeah, nice. And so, or like solid memories, right?
Yes.
Solid as a stone.
Yeah.
And so, did you start gigging right away, or so?
We did practice together, try to get a nice group of songs going, and the other thing we wanted with this band is to be flexible. We wanted to be able to play as a duo, a trio, a quartet, or as a full band.
Okay.
And so our first gig was at Uncommon Ground.
Oh, okay.
And that went really well. It was just a quartet, and I met a lot of people when I was in Dry County Line. I booked a lot of shows, and so I already knew a lot of people, knew where to go.
So you are the booking agent for the band?
Well, I was.
Oh,
yeah.
You were? Okay.
So yeah, and I am the booking agent now for Reverie Stone. Yeah, that's what I do for them, as well as play.
Oh,
yes.
Very nice. Okay. And so what was that first gig like? What was the energy? Do you remember?
It was wonderful. I was very nervous and everything, but because I hadn't played a lot of shows without a drummer, it's a very different kind of a feeling. And but there was a lot of support. A lot of people, friends came, people I didn't know came, and it's a very small space, and it just felt so good. It just felt so good to play, and it's just been getting better with every show,
Did you do anything special to prepare to play without a drummer? Did you do anything like you're working to a click, or was it just feel?
It's feel.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't use a click. Sometimes I wonder if we should, but no, we've always just used the feel, and we practice together in the living room, and that's one of the things that I think is just I want to work on, is just learning how to read each other, getting to know each other so well that you can just what's going to happen next, when it's time for somebody to do a solo, or but yeah.
And so now, are you playing piano with Reverie Stone too, or
no? It's been too long.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's been long. I'm pretty much focused on fiddle, and then singing, of course. But, yeah.
And who did you take any vocal lessons, or is this something just naturally?
No, I've been singing my whole life, just singing harmonies to the songs that I would hear on the radio, and that was just something that kind of came naturally, and it was fun for me. And I did join choir in church, and I did sing with the Roosevelt University Choir for a year or so, just to kind of get some training, fundamental training, I guess. But for the most part, I've done it all on my own. And then when I did start Reverie Stone, I did see a vocal coach, just because going from the earlier bands to Reverie Stone, I was singing a lot more. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was doing it the right way. Right. So I would
taking care of your instrument.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you play with Mitch in Reverie Stone.
Yes.
Do you have any issues, or do you find it difficult, or problems of playing with a spouse?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I think about it a lot, because I'm 55.
Okay.
And I sometimes wonder about the future, and I'm like, I can't even imagine not singing with him. We've been together for 30 years, and we just know each other so well, and we harmonize with each other so well. It's just like we know where to go intuitively, and I feel we trust each other enough to say, no, this is not working, or no, I don't like this, or whatever. So no, I actually really feel quite comfortable singing with him,
so it's
playing with him.
More of a Paul and Linda than Stevie and Lindsay, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he is super supportive of me. He's helpful, and I try to be as supportive as I can to him, and yeah, it's wonderful. I think we're very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you always hear stories of, oh, well, they're fighting today, so we can't really have band practice.
Oh, we definitely bicker. Oh, right. Yeah. We bicker in practice and stuff, but, well,
typical band stuff, though, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, all right. Well, how does Honeybee 3 then differ from Reverie Stone? Is it divergent paths you're following with them?
Yeah, it's pretty separate. Honeybee 3, I think it's more of a Riva's creation. And we do a lot of honky tonk. We do a lot of old country. And I learned so much from them, because they have so many years of experience and have been playing music for I don't know how long, And we do a lot of nursing homes, and so we, we have a lot of '60s and folk, and kind of, so we can kind of play to the audience a little bit more. So it is a little different, and it's a trio. So.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. It was really great to finally meet you after being Facebook friends for a couple of years now. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up on the podcast, we've got soul, R&B, and blues guitarist, artist, bass player, 2023 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and the real bear from Chicago, Bear Williams. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah. Are you a Chicago native?
I am. Born and raised.
Where'd you grow up?
Southside Chatham,
All right.
79th and Langley.
Okay.
That was my stomping grounds. Yeah.
51st and Pulaski, so
Okay.
it's not just so South Side.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes.
And so, did you grow up in a musical household?
Yes and no. And I say that because we, the kids, were musical. My aunt that raised four, I have three other siblings older than me, and we all had in our own way. We loved music. My aunt loved music too, but she was not a singer or anything like that. But she had, the hi-fi.
Okay.
Boy, I'm really dating myself.
RCA.
Yeah, man. With
Lift top. The whole console. Weighed a ton.
Don't you dare touch it while I'm not here. And she had the Spaniels. I remember the first Tom Jones album coming into the house. Various other groups, would be on the record player, and then the radio would be on because my two older sisters would be playing constantly. And my brother played drums in high school, and so it was kind of musical, yes, but not. I was the only one that ended up going into it professionally.
Ah, okay. And did you play together with your siblings as like a family band?
No, we never did. We never did that. No. Well, I wonder what would have happened if we
Yeah.
had. No.
So, what was your first instrument of choice?
My first instrument of choice, well, I started piano at age 5. Okay. Reason being, my aunt had bought my sister Diane a piano. She seemed to be interested in it and took lessons, lost interest. Mm-hmm. She lost interest. So the piano was sitting dormant at the house. I got the piano lessons when I heard on the radio Ramsey Lewis's version of "Wading in the Water."
Wow. Okay.
So I guess at 5 years old, I started climbing up on the piano, banging whenever I would hear that song. And so my aunt recognized. She's like, "Oh, well, let's give him the lessons."
Right. He's drawn to it, so why not?
Right. So she enrolled me in Line and Healy downtown, and I did the lessons, and I had a teacher on my block as well. That I would go to, I think, every Tuesday and go. But I did it for a while, and it bored me because I kept wanting in the back of my head. I'm saying, okay, so when do I get to play like Ramsey Lewis?
Right.
This is what's that? That's not what this is. I wanted to play that, so I lost interest in it. And interestingly enough, I also. When you're talking to Lee, I also went to the Art Institute. I also studied drawing and painting, though.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, so it was like my Saturday was full because I'd go Line and Healy, and then I'd go to Art Institute. But anyway, long story short, that was the beginning of it. I dropped the lessons with the piano, and I don't know, maybe 2-3 years later, I saw Jimi Hendrix on television.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, Ruby, I mean,
what's
that's
that?
It. That's it. The guitar, that's it.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, I got this piano sitting over in the corner. Nobody's taking off with. So,
but you can't carry the piano around.
She's like, let's just wait on that for a while. And it was probably, I was around 12 years old or so. Went by my brother's apartment and was hanging out with him on a weekend. And I noticed over by his mantle, his fireplace, he had a guitar. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I went over and started messing around with it. And so it was time to get ready to go home. And he was like, don't put that back in that court. Take it.
Take it home.
He said, it's just Jack and Rachel. I'm not playing it. So I did. So I took it home and started picking with it and working with it. And then my sister Diane, interestingly enough, the one with the piano lessons initially, she bought me my very first album.
Okay, what was that?
Which was the Superfly soundtrack.
Oh, wow,
Curtis
nice.
Mayfield, Chicago's own. And so I put it on in my room and was trying to pick out the guitar parts, trying to teach it. But the bass parts were so prevalent.
Sure.
I was like, "Oh, this is something stirred in me." And so I instinctively took the top 2 strings off the guitar, and that was my first.
Don't
bass.
need those. Get those out
I
of
know.
here.
Yeah. What do you need that for? So that was my first bass. I taught myself how to play from there.
Bass.
Yeah.
Now, did you learn just like listening to the songs and learn the songs and just would put the record on, play along with it?
Yeah.
And, wow, that's great.
Yeah, but fortunately I had the background of, I didn't know it was ear training, but having the
Right.
piano, I could tell, I could tell a whole step between a half step. Didn't know what I was doing then, but I knew how to get to it. So it was that was the part that came pretty easy for me. So,
But the piano lessons gave you a little bit of theory,
yes,
though,
it
right?
did.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
did.
Good.
It did.
And so then you went primarily into bass. What was your first bass guitar?
My first bass guitar was a copy of a Gibson SG,
Okay.
complete with the mute with the mute on the back.
Right.
That was the very first one. Had that for a couple of years, and then graduated from that into a Gibson Grabber.
Okay.
That
yeah.
was my next
yeah.
bass. That was the next bass, and then went from there to whatever else. I don't have any of them.
That was my next question. Do you still have the grabber?
In retrospect, boy, if I had kept all of those things, it would have been great. But no.
So then, what was your first band experience?
Oh, well, that would be in high school, probably age, I'm going to say 15, non-professional. That we got together, some guys that were in the concert band, and we formed our own little group, and we called it J&S Unlimited, and that was Jazz and Soul Unlimited.
Okay.
So because it was the concert band, we had a full horn section and a rhythm thing, and then vocals too. So we used to practice in my buddy's basement, and so that was the first thing. Never had a gig. We never had a gig.
Yeah, but that's good training, though, man.
No,
yeah.
I'm sorry. We did a couple of assemblies at school, but that was about it. That was about it. Next thing, as far as band stuff was concerned, the next thing was 16 years old, playing professionally with my high school band director's big band.
Oh, boy.
Outside of school.
Okay.
His name was George Hunter, and it was George Hunter and the Moonlighters.
Okay. And so, I mean, professional at 16. That's so paying gigs.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. And how often did you play with this band?
He was doing weekends mostly. We'd play, I don't know, maybe 40 times a year or something like that. Yeah. Because he was doing cocktail hours and some weddings and stuff. So I was the young guy in the group. Everybody else were, and the reason they were called the Moonlighters because they were all teachers and doctors and lawyers and dentists and all that stuff. So it was a really great time for me to be around men. You know, and they all took me under their wing and showed me how to be mature and show up on time and do all of that stuff.
Yeah,
so it was really cool.
On time and prepared.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so it was an amazing mentoring program then.
Really,
it
really was.
So were you able to increase your theory knowledge through playing with this band also? And
yeah, them and then there were some other groups that came along through that thread of time that. I worked a little bit after I graduated. A little bit. Phil Upchurch came along. Another Chicago zone. He taught me a bunch. And then Vince. What's Vince's last name? Shoot, I can't think of it now. Anyway, Vince Willis. That was his name. Vince Willis. He was a Southside keyboard player and singer-songwriter. Really talented.
Okay.
He's the one that taught me how to walk the bass. The keyboard player taught me how to walk the bass.
Nice.
It opened up when he gave me one lesson, and it was like, it just blew my mind. I was like, that's what this is? Oh, okay. So it opened up a lot. So I had a lot of different people showing me different things. Yeah, my high school band director was really good. He would take us. Actually, I do this now even with my own music students. We deconstruct songs, and so he would do that in high school. He would take a song, somebody would bring in an LP, and he'd put it on the blackboard.
It's like sentence diagramming, right? Okay, so can you walk me through that a little bit? How do you deconstruct a song?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm teaching bass, so teach bass and guitar. But for my bass players, I'm pulling out first of all, we're establishing the key. We're establishing the scale that goes with that key. We're establishing the chords that go within that scale.
All right.
So we're building. It's all the building blocks, and I'm trying to get them to understand that it's really. It can seem complicated, but it's really that simple if you look at it from those standpoints, and then how to get from one chord in the chord progression to the next.
Okay.
And that's the linkage that bass players play. It's like, oh, so how do you play that fancy stuff? Well, that fancy stuff is the stuff in between.
Nice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The roots.
Right,
If you play the roots, it's going to be this. It's going to be this. It's going to be this. If you play the roots and the fun stuff in between, you got all that extra stuff. So we learn about all of that, what that means. A lot of times it ends up being a pentatonic scale or a derivative of. Right. So I tend to teach my students, okay, that is this. They're doing this, so that they can understand in that way, and it does help, and it's a lot of fun for them too.
Yeah, and so now you were saying that you got bored with the lessons. So as an instructor, I'm going on a tangent here. As an instructor, then how do you get to them to keep them, hungry? Let's say for it.
They bring in songs that they enjoy.
Okay.
We start with stuff that they like. Same thing with my guitar lessons. I do, and those are most of my bass lessons are online. So I have students in Germany. I have students, as far as California and States. But here at Old Town School, everybody's in the room with me. So I always canvas everybody. I'm like, I put a song on. I'm like, what do you guys think about this song? Is it cool? Do you like it? Is it resonating? And then most of the time they're yeah. I'm like, tell me if it's tell me if it's not hitting you, because if it isn't, we'll do something different.
Okay.
And so generally it has to have some sort of connection with the person.
So if your piano teacher had taught you Ramsey Lewis records, you'd be a piano player today. Right?
I very well might have, because that's what I was looking for, and I couldn't express it. I couldn't tell them that. That was a quiet conversation within my head. When are we going to start that? I never said it.
Okay.
Because I knew in my heart of hearts that I probably really wasn't ready for it. But just in my mind, I was like, boy, let's just go from here to. From here to here,
right,
immediately, and that's what I wanted,
So now you were in Los Angeles doing studio work. Was it okay? Was that something that started here and then? Yes. Okay, how did you get into that avenue then?
Again, my band director.
Okay,
high school band director. He was busy. He was a school teacher, obviously. He had his big band, and he was also a woodwind player.
Okay. And
he played on a ton of the sessions that were coming out of Chicago as a woodwind player.
Sure.
And so he, around age 17 or so, he took me into the studios. My first stuff was down at Brunswick when Record Row was still here. It was leaving, it was at its end.
It was migrating out.
Yeah, but I did some stuff at Brunswick. He took me down and said, hey, this kid is playing great. Put him on some records. And so I ended up, doing some stuff with Jerry Butler, some stuff, 2 albums with Gene Chandler.
Wow. This is 17.
Yeah, 17, 18.
Holy cow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was really blessed. Again, in there with all of these Chicago giants, Morris Jennings on drums, Carl Davis, was the, record mogul, and Sonny Saunders, great arranger, Tom 84 from Earth, Wind and Fire arrangements. These are all people in the room with me. Right. I am this kid learning, on the go. So it was, I am really blessed.
Trial by fire. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now I have both of our guests here on the sofa, and Or is it a Davenport or what? I don't know. What.
Davenport.
So I want to ask you guys, we have a connection here with the Old Town School of Folk Music. We have a teacher and a student. So let me ask you, when did you start teaching over at Old Town?
February of this year.
Okay.
So I'm new.
Okay. And primarily teaching bass?
Guitar. Actually.
Teaching guitar. Okay, not teaching bass.
Yeah, not next semester I hope to start a class called the Soul of R&B.
Okay.
And so that would be focusing on bass guitar from the standpoint of Record Row.
Okay.
Basically all the stuff from from not Stax, I'm talking about VJ and Brunswick and those labels.
Stuff from guys from here.
Right, from Chicago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just listening to another podcast, and they were talking about how was it the bass player for Sly's band, Sly and the Family Stone?
Oh, Larry Graham?
Yeah, he came up with the pop and the thump. That was his invention.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He's the internationally recognized father of that.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. That was something I didn't know, and I learned. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Sure.
And so you were a student at Old Town, and what were you learning in?
I was learning fiddle.
Fiddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started about 5 years ago with Brandy Berry Benson, and then we worked together in person until the pandemic started, and then we had to go to Zoom for a year or so. And then I kind of hung back a little bit, and then I came back and started taking private lessons with Sean College. And now I'm taking a group class with him. We're learning like Appalachian, like Irish fiddle tunes and stuff. And it's interesting to work with a group too.
Okay.
Because up until then, it's been all private lessons. Because I wanted to work on my form and technical stuff and all that. And now I just want to play with people. And it's very different. You know, playing with a group, it kind of just forces you to not fall off the horse. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to stay on there. And it's great practice.
I was playing with this world-class mandolin player, and I always had just in my mind, just keep your meter, but I'd watch him play, and I was like, no, focus here, because he's pulling off these riffs. I'm like, how are you doing that? No, focus on what you got to do and keep a rhythm for him so he can go and do that stuff.
Yeah, so true.
But I got to ask you, Bear. Usually great players have a tough time coaching. Like, I can never see Michael Jordan coaching a team, or LeBron, or So, how do you do it? How do you how's your patience level for?
Good question. I'm just a patient person by nature.
Okay.
So I think I kind of just fell into it naturally. Same thing. I started teaching online during the pandemic.
Okay.
Through a platform called Lesson Face out of New York, and very, very, very cool platform. And so I just realized I had been teaching off and on. Guys would come up and say, "Hey, man, can I study with you?" Whatever. So it was kind of off and on-ish, one-on-one for some years, but it never really took. It wasn't something that I was focused on.
Right.
Pandemic made you forced you to focus.
Absolutely.
And it also made me realize, boy, this is kind of fun. I enjoy this. Yeah. I enjoy seeing the light come on.
Right.
With students and say, I did this with, their first time actually playing with a group and coming back and saying, it went great, da-da-da-da-da, you taught me this, I was telling one of my students, he's got their first, he was formerly a baritone sax player. Now he's gravitated, he's gone over to bass. I think we've been together for now almost 3 years.
Wow.
Okay.
On lessons, and he lives in Cincinnati. Formerly, he's born and raised in Chicago, but lives in Cincinnati. And he was telling me the band that he's with now, which is I'll just call them a country rock band. They're really, they're really intense country rock.
Sure.
He got with them, and they dig what he's doing, and they have their first gigs coming up.
Oh, outstanding!
And so I was telling him, he was so excited about it. He was like, "Do you have any advice for me?" And I said, "Yeah." Make sure that your bass amp is not overpowering the stage.
Yeah.
So that your front of house guy will love you, basically. And he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that."
I didn't even think of that.
He's like, "I hadn't thought about it." I said, "Yeah, no. If you make sure that your monitor and your bass amp is comfortable for you, and you can hear everything around you, but you want your front of house guy happy to be able to mix everything without having bass coming off the stage randomly."
Yeah.
Such good advice.
So he was like, "Man, that is awesome. Thank you so much." So it's great to have that feedback. And then with Old Town School, being in the room with all of the the guitar players who were mostly adults, some young adults, but then older adults. Again, it's great to see them having fun playing the instrument and just the light bulbs coming on. It's like, and so a lot of them are being introduced to theory for the very first time.
Right.
They learn the chords, but I want them to learn
circle of fifths, and
I want them to learn what's behind all of that.
Oh, sure.
And so it's some of them it's what? Huh? What's that? I said I'm not gonna get too heavy on it, but we want to try to cover some of that so that you can be comfortable in any situation. You don't just want to be randomly out there, So
this isn't rocket surgery, right? So
yeah.
Feels like it sometimes.
It can.
Excellent. And so Lee, you said you book Reverie Stone, and so I was going to ask you. Any tips you can give us for booking bands?
Oh my God. Well, gosh. For me, I'm just relentless. That's all. I'm relentless, and it can be bad maybe, but it's worked for me.
Okay.
It's like I introduce myself, and then I just keep on going. I mean, I do give them a break, but
Is this via email or face to face?
I usually do email.
Okay.
And sometimes now I'm starting to call on the phone, which I'm finding is better because people just get inundated with emails.
Okay.
Yeah. But for a long time, email worked,
Okay. So do you can you tell me a little bit step by step of, you target a venue and then you go there and have a beer and
sometimes I already know what the venue is.
Okay.
Or I just know it's going to be great or whatever. But yeah, sometimes I do a reconnaissance visit or whatever, just to see what it's like. And then if it looks good and if I actually get to talk to somebody, great, you know what I mean? And then I'll just send them an email introducing myself and kind of telling them about us and try to hit all the points and not say too much because they don't have much time to read everything anyway. Right, yeah. And then just give them links so they can see videos and stuff because, we're a cover band, so we don't really have any original recordings. So it's really important that they can see what we sound like and stuff. Right. And so that's it,
Right. And do you send them material? Like, do you have like a bio sheet and things like that, or?
No, I usually just do everything electronically, and I just have links. Okay. We have a lot of videos on YouTube, and I figure they can just go on there and click on what they want. Yeah.
Okay, because Bear, I saw online you have an EPK. Sorry, it's hard for me to say. And so now, is that how you go about getting the gigs? You just pass it along?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will send we will send the EPK link that links to the website, which is that page.
Right, which is performance on there, and there's a listing of your pedigree, also of who you've played with. And,
right. Yeah. So that's probably the that's our way. But she's absolutely right. The link thing works. They actually request that a lot.
Okay.
Because they don't have a lot of time.
True. Absolutely.
And so they just want to be able to click on something and go to
there it goes. I can listen to it.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because I remember in the old days, you send them a cassette and, and a picture and a bio and
exactly.
And usually it was right into the circular file.
Truly.
Or years ago, I worked at a bar in the Loop called Traffic Jam, and we used to get inundated with cassettes. Since I was the junior sound engineer, Here's a box of tapes. Go through. Really? Oh my God. So
man.
that was, I'm telling you, from being on both ends is not fun.
Yeah.
So okay, well, I got to ask you. So, can you tell us what are some of the venues you play around in Chicago?
You want to go first?
Sure. We've done Rose's Lounge.
Okay.
We've done Navy Pier. We've done a couple of the steakhouses down in the Loop area, Magnificent Mile. Rose's Lounge.
Right. You said Navy Pier. Is that on the Windy, the ship, or
no? Down on the end they have the beer garden.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we've done that in the summer. Which is a cool venue. We've got to get back there. We haven't been there in a while. Rose's Lounge.
Can I ask you one more question about how when you're playing that with all the open air and how do you stay focused? Because I there's times I've played gigs like that and I just and I'm a front man. I'm lead singer and I just like, wow, that's cool. Look at that.
That's hilarious.
Oh. Next thing you know, the band's moved on to a different chord progression. They're still.
That's funny.
How do you?
It is a great view. I mean, usually with the beer garden, there's if you're doing it on a good night, there's a lot of people.
Sure.
So generally, I'm focused down in front of me and not because if you do look out there,
that lake goes on forever, and you're just like, I can see Michigan from here.
Yeah, so I'm usually looking down at the people. So but let's see what other places. Buddy Guys, Legends we played.
Now you when you play there, Buddy's known to step up and hang with the band.
Yes.
Have you had that experience?
Yes, I have.
And
yes.
Okay.
More than a few times.
Oh, okay.
We're proud to say more than a few times he's come up and jammed with us, and it's been from the first time to the last time. It's always hilarious because the guy is so funny.
Yeah,
he's so funny, and he does his shtick.
I was just about to say that.
He does his blues shtick, and it's hilarious, and the people love it. And he comes up and he's like, "I'm sorry to disrupt y'all's show, but I'm like." Like, no, you're fine because the tips are gonna go up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And also the clicks online is like, oh, Buddy played with these guys.
Exactly. Trust me. Because as soon as he mentions the tip jar, it's good. It does this. But it's fun. So there's been a few other places too. Johnny's Blitz up in Westmont.
All right.
We've done. What's the other spot I was thinking? Of course, Epiphany Center and WIM. I do a solo show over at WIM on Belmont.
Okay. And did I see the Botanical Gardens too?
Yeah, we're doing that. We've done that. We did that last summer. We're doing it this summer, the 22nd of July.
Oh, wow. That's coming up.
Yeah.
Nice. And so, Lee, how about you? And let's first ask, where does Honeybee 3 play?
Oh, we play at a lot of... we play at a lot of nursing homes and retirement centers.
All right.
That's it's kind of a thing that I didn't realize is just sort of a gold mine. You know what I mean?
It is.
I mean,
sure.
Because older people need to have good entertainment, and they deserve it.
They don't really get out much anymore, so as the song goes.
Exactly. So we do play at Mather in Glenview.
Okay.
Radcliffe, Asbury Courts, and they just kind of go all over the place. Some are actual nursing homes, and some are really high-end retirement homes and stuff. We also played at the Ravenswood Tavern, which is really fun. And we used to play at Lizard's Liquid Lounge and things like that.
Okay.
And we had a gig at Northman, but it was rained out. So
that's good. I like that place. I
love that place. Talk about being distracted. I mean, if you're right there on the river and the boat goes by. And
boats weren't so bad. The fire trucks once in a while will pass by and
it can get noisy.
Yeah. That's like my solo gig at Epiphany if I'm out in the courtyard, which is a beautiful venue.
It is.
But Ashland Avenue at 201 South.
Oh yeah.
you're playing a ballad and it's like, okay, all right, guys.
Ouch.
Yeah.
There's I said barbecue place out in Lamont that's right next to the Metro tracks.
Oh.
And your back is literally, if you take 5 steps back, you're on the tracks.
Oh my gosh.
And you're in the middle of a song, all of a sudden, ding, 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 ding. And just step away from the microphone, vamp on a chord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Whose idea was it to put a stage there?
Well, I know, man. Jeez. Wow.
But yeah.
Okay, let's say we're to shift gears here. I got a couple of quotes, and I wanted to ask you guys, since a couple of quotes on blues music that I wanted to throw at you guys and see if you agree, disagree. So, and they're from varied musicians, all from, I guess they're from the 60s. First one I'm going to say is pop music is aspirin and the blues are vitamins.
Oh, wow.
And that's from, oddly enough, Peter Tork.
From the Monkees?
Really?
Yes. Yeah, the late, great Peter Tork.
Wow. Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, I could tend to agree with that.
Okay.
In certain contexts, sure. I mean, in certain contexts, pop music has its merits, has its values.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stories
Right.
in pop music as well.
Right.
The blues is stories, just like country music is stories.
Sure.
Country and folk music is about stories.
Yeah.
So.
But I like the aspect of pop music is healing. It's aspirin.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can listen to, I was having such a bad day, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, Heroes by David Bowie. But then, you listen to the blues, and it's like, okay. I'm building up my tolerance. Vitamins are helping me out here. So I really like that one. That one kind of jumped out at me.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
One thing the blues ain't is funny. Stephen Stills, who I don't think has a good sense of humor.
He doesn't have a sense of humor.
No,
I understand.
So I don't think anything is funny to that guy, right?
Right.
That's hilarious. I did meet him once.
Okay.
And it wasn't funny.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I can see that.
Strikes me as a very serious guy.
He was. Yeah, he was.
I guess you got to keep up that stern face if you're around Crosby so much, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but blues can be really funny. There's a lot of funny blues tunes.
Oh yeah.
What's is it?
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Is it Albert Iceman Collins? I ain't drunk. I'm just drinking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We had we were playing Buddy Guys once, and the great Lindsay Alexander got up on the stage with us, and he sang one of his hit songs, and I'll just say it's hilarious, but it mortified all the women in the play, and I'm not going to say what it's called, because it's not. Most of your fans that know Lindsay Alexander know what I'm talking about, but we were all like. But it was howling hilarious, but it was just like, I know, because Dee was singing, my wife Dee and my bonus daughter Dana were singing with us, and so they were mortified.
And they were still singing.
Yeah, right. So the rest of us were cracking up.
That's awesome. And the last one I want to throw at you is the blues is easy to play but hard to feel. And that's from Jimmy.
Hard to feel, huh?
Yeah.
Because I kind of thought that was what precipitated it.
The feeling is
Yeah.
the blues. Is the blues.
Right.
Yeah. Hard to feel. Yeah. I mean, I guess, if you can play a 1-4-5, that's fine. But to feel what's behind that's a whole nother ball of wax to have lived that.
Right.
And have to relive it every time you play it.
Exactly. Because it's coming from, where I come from. But my family life was not poverty. It was very poor before I was born, I was told. But when my aunt got a hold of us and brought us into, it was more of a middle class upbringing. Okay. So here I am playing the blues. with that upbringing. So I look at people like, Muddy Waters and Howlin'
Right.
Wolf and Son House, who
Sure.
lived
Yeah.
all of that,
Right.
And so for me, when I strap on the guitar, Elmore James, people like that, I do try to channel a little bit of what's going on there.
Sure.
To give it that authenticity, because I didn't have that.
Right.
Fortunately for myself, I didn't have that, but I can sympathize and empathize with that, with those stories.
Sure, absolutely. So, in country also has a lot of depth.
Oh, yeah.
and,
absolutely.
And
there is country blues. That is a thing.
Yeah. And I mean, love, it's universal. It's, you got love lost and loneliness, all that stuff.
That's
and
universal.
Everybody's been through that.
Sure.
So.
Yeah,
Heartache is universal.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I want to ask you also, before we get too far away from this, you run a record label too.
Yeah.
Okay.
GVR was the label that was started with myself and a partner of mine in California, Keith Reese. And it started out as a vehicle for soul R&B artists, and it ended up being what it is now, which is we're in the middle of trying to morph it into a more of a media company.
Okay.
We're still bouncing things around how to do that, because there just wasn't the we can distribute anything.
Right.
We can promote nothing. Because we don't have promotion dollars.
Okay.
We have the distribution channel through because we're distributed through Ingrooves / it was we were through Universal, but now Universal's been bought by Virgin.
Okay.
So the whole thing is, so it's Ingrooves, which is Virgin. So we have the channels. We can get you in any place.
Right.
But we don't have the dollars. And that was the main thing. And that's always the main thing with an indie label. We don't,
Right.
Dollars to promote. So, so it became a vehicle for me to get my stuff out.
Okay.
Which is why I'm on Spotify
Sure,
and all that
right,
other fun
right.
stuff. So, yeah.
So, Lee, you said you wrote songs. You guys, do you ever get a chance to play them and put them out in the world?
I did write a lot of songs in my mid-20s.
Okay.
And that was in my 20s. And so now it's like really hard to revisit that, because I just...
Right.
It's such a long time. And I would definitely say that writing is in our future, but just not at the moment. But I am writing my own stuff every day. And
wow, okay.
I mean, not necessarily songs, just writing in general.
Sure, but that's the process. The process
exactly.
is...
And so I'm hoping that at some point it's going to morph into...
Right, I always point people to... I'm sure there's a clip on YouTube, but it's in the Get Back documentary that came out. It's 9 hours long, and it's if you're a musician, it's like sitting through band practice. But there's a clip of Paul McCartney coming in and knowing that they got this project due. They need an up-tempo number, simple, that the other guys can learn right away. And he's hacking away, and you're watching him write Get Back. And he's just strumming on the bass, and he's humming the melody, and I'm like, I know where this is going. I know he's going. No, Paul, no, don't go to that. Go that way. Go that way. And then at some point they were talking about, oh, wait a minute. Hey, is Tucson in Arizona?
Yeah.
And then Paul says, yeah, because that's where they filmed The High Chaparral.
Oh, wow.
Like, awesome. But it's on YouTube. Look for it, because it's unbelievable.
I will.
Because and the others are sitting there watching them, and you're watching this happen, and that's and I tell people that's how songs are written.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and wait. Oh, it's going to wait for the lightning bolt. No, you sit there and you grab your instrument, and you bang on it, and make something come out.
Yeah. And I would imagine that somebody like Paul McCartney was in a groove at that point.
Oh yeah, they call that Paul's Purple period. Yeah. Where from like 66 to 70, he was just cranking songs out
all the time
and giving songs away, and
and I would think that it would be easier to be able to just pen a song at that point. And but the other thing is my life is so different now.
True.
You know, and
Yeah, but you can bring that perspective of
That's true.
being in a different place now.
But I
you know.
definitely don't feel the angst that I felt.
I'm sure there's a different version of it there somewhere. So.
Different angst.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
Well,
great.
that's where my, the song, This is America. I
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I have.
one. You could tell I was a little bit angry during
Oh,
that.
sure. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you.
That came out during the old George Floyd thing, pandemic.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll never forget that. I mean, I just went in the room. I just remember going in the studio and closing the door and not coming out until that came out. Till that
Yeah.
was done. This is America.
Right.
Everything we're looking at on television. It was just and it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't funny. It wasn't pretty.
Right.
But for me at that moment, it was real. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it comes. Inspiration and ideas can come from anywhere, but you got to put that instrument in front of you. and You got to work it to make it
Yeah.
come out, to realize it.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I got a few questions that I like to ask at the end of the interview, and since I got you here, we're going to do a 1, 1, 1, 1.
Okay.
Tell me your musical Mount Rushmore. You get 4 people, other people have put actors on there as well, so you can do that. So, ladies first.
Oh my God. Well, shoot, that's Bear Williams, of course.
Okay.
I wasn't looking for that, but thank you.
No, I was gonna say Emmylou Harris. Man,
Okay.
I love her.
Okay.
And I love the way she
Fantastic.
interprets music and her singing and her harmonies and everything. Just is so inspiring. So
Okay, Bear.
Son House.
Oh wow. Okay.
Son House. Yeah.
Because. I mean, we
If
know
you
why.
hear him
but
singing, just if you go on YouTube and watch him emote John the Revelator,
Okay.
that was it. That was it for me. I was like, "What is this? Is coming from
Yeah.
way
Where?
down somewhere
Yeah.
else?" And and it's out of time, and it's not perfect, but boy, is it emotional.
Right.
And so for me, he's one of the top. Yeah,
Okay.
for me.
Number 2.
oh God, this is a lot of pressure.
Yeah. No, we're having fun.
Okay, well, I mean, I would say, God, there's so many, but probably Alison Krauss is another one.
Okay,
that I
also
would have up
outstanding.
there.
Yeah.
I find her incredibly talented, beautiful voice, and beautiful fiddling.
Right.
And
Love the stuff she did with Robert Plant too.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff.
And I mean, I know I'm kind of sticking to the same sort of genre.
No,
here,
that's
but-
fine.
fine.
It's
So
your Mount Rushmore.
That's right. This is yours.
Yeah,
It's your mountain.
You could have 4 of the same, similar.
Yeah,
Okay,
Exactly.
Bear, number 2.
Oh gosh. I'm going to say probably going to stick, with the blues as well, and,
Sure.
and just go Elmore James.
Okay.
He's one. His slide stuff and his delivery, kind of the no holds barred thing. Just it just did it for me. He just I just resonate with what he did and what I hear from him. So yeah, he's one of those.
Excellent. Number 3.
Pete Townsend. is
Okay.
what
Wow.
it is.
Okay.
And,
We're
I
going.
mean,
Now we're going left field.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
totally left
Sure.
field.
Okay.
That's just one of the first rhythm and blues, especially out of England. Just was something
Yep.
that resonated with me as a child all the way
Okay.
through my adult life, and I really love the Who. So
Any songs in particular that?
a lot of the songs off Quadrophenia
Uh-huh.
and were some of my favorites.
Some
Love Rain or
some great bass playing on that album too.
Yeah. Oh my God, he had a good band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they said the Who were the first, or not the first, but 4 lead players in one band.
Yeah, it's
lead
intense.
lead
How
drums,
true.
lead
Good
guitar,
point.
lead bass,
Yeah.
lead vocals. Yeah.
Yeah.
How they made it work.
Uh,
Yeah.
So that's a lot of angst and a lot of.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just a quick sidelight. When NAMM Show was still here in Chicago,
Yeah.
I actually did get to meet Entwistle when he was still
wow.
alive.
Really?
Okay.
He was
Yeah.
doing an exhibit. I can't remember for what it might have been a limbic or something, but
Yeah.
he was like right there,
Wow.
and I'm just like, this cat is just
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the video online
amazing.
of
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's a video line of him isolated video of him playing "Won't Get Fooled Again,"
Uh-huh.
and it's just
wow.
like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah, he was
jaw dropping
Yeah.
to watch
He
him
was
do that.
amazing.
Mesmerizing to
Yeah.
watch that.
He was.
Okay, Bear, you're up for number 3.
Okay, I'm gonna go left field now too.
All right.
In a way, Mark Knopfler.
Okay,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah,
His
innovative.
very innovative. If you sit and listen to him speak about his knowledge of blues and the blues sensibilities that he brings to, his ideas. It's I mean for money for nothing, forget it.
Yeah,
That's just what? What did you do? How did you do that? It's like what, you're muting it and making it
picking it, and, yeah, it's amazing.
Just a dream. I mean, but his songwriting is just primo. It's just
Right.
really great, really great. So I really like him.
Okay.
Really like him.
And number 4.
Well, I'm a singer, and so I'm just going to go all singing. And Linda Ronstadt is another one. Now,
Bless her heart.
and it's funny. She doesn't write her own stuff. I mean, she's another one of those people who just
She's an interpreter.
reinterprets
Yeah.
everybody else's
There's
in a way
been
that has
some
never
amazing
been done before.
interpreters through the years.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
her voice is just fantastic. So it's really sad what's happening to her.
Yeah, it is.
But
It is.
but I would say those are my
okay.
Mhm.
And that she had that the trio record. I guess it was her and Emmylou
Dolly
and
Emily.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Emmylou.
Emmylou.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's a
They
great
sang
record.
beautifully together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Bear, number 4.
Oh gosh, yeah, this is hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
But
Well, to be put on the spot. As soon as we shut off the camera and the microphone, and this guy and this
And
girl and this one and this one and this one. And
Yeah, I'm gonna say for his choice of lyric, his choice of melody and harmony, Sting.
yeah.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
yeah.
Also a bass player.
Yeah.
A frontman bass player.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He just, having the grandchildren, you're forced to watch Disney, right?
Yeah.
And I had not seen The Emperor's New Groove
Okay.
up until probably a couple of months ago, but Sting has a song in the end of that
Okay.
movie that really sums up the entire movie, and it's called "My Funny Friend and Me," and I had never heard it before. But
Okay.
boy, is this an incredible, just harmonically and vocally,
Yeah.
and just wow, man! How do you come up with these
Yeah.
melodies, man? They're just great. They're great. But his lyrical content in this thing, how it's a synopsis of this pompous king who meets a pauper, and the pauper has to help the king get back to the kingdom because someone's trying to take the kingdom from the
Right.
pompous king. He turns into a llama. Right.
Right.
And it's the whole thing. It's the whole relationship of them becoming friends,
Right.
Right.
and the king realizing that I don't have to act like this.
Yeah.
I can be human, and I can love this guy because
Nice.
he's helped me, and I can love his family. It's really beautiful.
Okay.
Really beautiful. Yeah, but
have to
my
track that
funny
down.
friend and me. It's very
Awesome.
cool. Yeah.
And okay, so now I've got just a couple Chicago questions. Best building to see the skyline, tall building.
Oh, shoot.
Sears Tower or Hancock?
Oh. It's been such a long time. I mean, I would guess the Sears Tower because it's
Because nobody calls it the Willis Tower, but the Sears Tower.
No, I
Right, I know,
still
yeah.
can't, and
Yeah.
but I mean, it's the tallest one, so you get
Okay.
great views. And
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bear?
Sears Tower.
Okay.
Because I think they've extended that platform out there from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even further out now. So it's like, yeah.
and will I be going there? No.
I know. Yeah.
Have you seen the carnival ride on the Hancock building, though? They've got
No.
you step onto a platform, you hold onto these railings, 3, 2, 1, go, and they lower you at a 45-degree angle
Oh, my.
while you're holding on, looking up.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, I won't be doing that.
Wow.
It was bad enough getting me to go out on the plexiglass platform. That
Right.
was enough. But
I usually
please.
walk on the dividers, and
Yeah,
that is,
just so you can feel
I'm not
like
stepping
you're
on that
along
glass.
something.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Go-to place for pizza.
Well, my neighborhood pizza place is the best.
Okay, which is? You want to give them a plug?
It's La Villa
Okay.
on Pulaski. It is so good.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, my place is on 63rd and Hamlin. It's Palermo's Pizza. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, we've got a spot out in Romeoville. That's a nice pizza.
That's a nice.
That's
Oh, that's a little Chico Marx.
I know, right? That's a
Buy a
nice
duck,
pizza.
buy not a chicken.
Yeah, it's really cool. They have a great deep dish, and
All right.
as well as flat.
Right,
you
right.
know,
The tavern style.
Thin crust. Yeah, it's cool. And they offer gluten free, which my wife
all
loves.
right.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and the last one I got to ask for you guys. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
4.
Would you rather read minds or make yourself invisible?
Oh, God. I've had this conversation with my husband.
Okay, so easy question.
I think I'd rather be invisible.
Okay, why?
Why? I don't want to know what's on everyone's minds.
Okay, so you can make yourself invisible.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I could go where I want to go. And
Well, it's easy to back out of rooms then too that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, 1 to 10, excluding 4.
8.
Would you rather have the same song stuck in your head forever, or have the same exact dream every night?
I'd rather have the song.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I
Can
mean
he
both
pick the
both of
song?
those are a living hell.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, because it's funny because I threw. There was what song was it? I threw it out of my head.
Yeah,
I
oh, good.
purposely threw it. It was
Don't-
something the other day. One of the kids' songs.
Mm-hmm.
One of my grandkids' songs, and it was just like on a
Oh, sure.
playback loop.
Earworm,
I'm like,
for
stop,
sure.
stop, stop. You know. So I made it get out of my head.
Right.
But I guess I don't know if I want the same dream every night. Yeah, I'll go with the song.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll go with the
Well,
song, man.
the way to get rid of those earworms is you have to play the song in your head to its end.
Seriously?
Yes. Yeah. So if you've got a song running, like, I don't want to mention
Okay.
any, but one that's just this
Yeah.
melody
Yeah.
over and over. If you play it over in your head and get it, okay, chorus 1, chorus 2, then it usually will
Just
get out of your
gets
head.
it out of its
yeah.
system.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
usually.
try that for real.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
So, guys, let me ask you first off, Lee, where can we find you on the internet?
Oh, well,
And first, what do you want to plug? Do you have anything to plug?
Oh,
And-
yeah. Well, we're going to be playing at the DuPage County Fair
Oh, nice.
on July 28th, and that's
Okay.
in Wheaton. So if you're in Chicago, you could come see us. Oh, sorry, the DuPage County Fair show is Sunday, July 28th.
Okay.
And then August 16th, which is a Friday, we're going to play at the Northman on the Riverwalk.
Okay, weather permitting, of
Weather
course.
permitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
All right.
that'll be fun.
Fantastic. And that's both with Reverie, or?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And any Honeybee 3 shows coming up?
We are playing in August at Ravenswood Tavern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
right.
remember the actual date, so but it's
Okay,
in
no worries.
August.
Okay, we can check it online.
I think it's the 24th or the 25th.
All right. And Bear, where we're going to find you?
I'm pulling it up.
Okay, no worries.
I'm pulling it up. I figure we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while you're pulling it up, can I ask you, have you seen the show The Bear?
Yes, we just finished this last season.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
you
still
watch
I'm
it?
in the middle of it.
No,
No.
I didn't.
It's really
Okay.
tense.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a hard get through, and too many close-ups.
Yes, lots of close-ups
Oh my
and
God.
lots of cuts.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. Okay, so we've got tour. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, July 20th, Bear Williams Trio will be at Nick's Beer Garden in
Okay.
Chicago on Milwaukee.
Right.
July 22nd, Bear Williams Band will be at the Botanical Garden in Glencoe.
Okay.
And the 26th will be at Free Blues Friday at Epiphany Center for the Arts.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, July 26th.
Okay, and then Barry, you have your albums are on Spotify and all other places that can be found. Apple Music and all
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Barry Williams. Mm-hmm.
yeah, outstanding. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It's been hilarious. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It's been a great
Okay,
time.
cheers.
Thank you, guys.
It's lovely.
Yes, indeed.